There are lies, there are damn lies, and there's healthcare lies.
TV loves a ruckus.
There's been a lot of attention paid to the anger and confrontation aspects of the healthcare debate.
Let me answer his question, sir. You're being rude.
But how it's playing out on the ground in the crucial state of Montana reveals a more complicated landscape.
Well, I've been going around the state busting myths about healthcare.
Finance Committee Chairman Max Baucus is central to the debate, and like other members of Congress, he's seen his share of right-wing anger during this recess period. But he's also been getting a lot of feedback, perhaps more effectively delivered, from the left.
We have an ability to influence what goes into that bill for the Senate Finance Committee.
Organizing for America, President Obama's own grassroots network, is a leftward lever of influence.
This is Russ Dunn with Organizing for America here in Bozeman.
They're applying pressure to both Republicans and Democrats, and the group's liberal members will likely react negatively as Senator Baucus's more moderate bill, likely without a public option, gets more scrutiny.
So we are very much communicating with him and what we want to see happen.
On the opposite side, at least here in Montana, there doesn't seem to be the same level of organization.
We are searching for our identity, okay? We're trying to figure out how do we sustain this effort.
Henry Kriegel lives in Bozeman and is an organizer of the Tea Party Activists, the group that first rose to prominence in April protesting against taxes. They've turned their sights against health care.
HR 3200, man.
The focus has been on making an impact rather than building an organization. There was one confrontation with Senator Baucus, and it got rowdy.
No! We're not perfect. We're expressing ourselves imperfectly. But there's a message in the actual anger in and of itself.
Senator Baucus later called the crowd agitators.
We are a protest event group. That's what we're known to do.
If their goal is to have a good media story, it's absolutely effective. Our goal is to actually engage with Montanans.
But there are areas of Montana largely out of the reach of either organization. One such place is Chester, closer to Calgary in Canada than to Billings. When Montana's lone congressman, Republican Denny Rayburg, came to town for a meeting, there was skepticism but little anger.
I don't want to be negative, but looking at what's been happening in a number of areas, I don't know how hopeful I am.
I know the health care will help a lot of people. I don't know if it'll help me, but...
One of the most persistent questioners was Margaret Novak.
There are so many things broken in the current system that to leave it alone in the name of free enterprise seems to me ridiculous.
Right.
I am not one who thinks that we need to do this terribly slowly because it'll be better then. Good grief.
But Miss Novak isn't a garden variety Democrat.
There's nothing between here and the Highwood Mountains 100 miles south.
Her father was a prominent Republican in Montana politics in the 1960s and 70s. Today, Ms. Novak co-owns a grocery store in town with her husband and votes as an independent.
There you go, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I align myself with the Democrats sometimes, but I have a hard time calling myself a Democrat just because of childhood loyalties.
The pressure she's putting on Senator Baucus is from the left.
I think that in his attempt to bring everybody to the table, Max may be losing an opportunity. I just hope that he comes around to his roots. So, and I think he will.
To top it all off, Senator Baucus had another constituency in town last week, President Obama. The senator's job was to stand behind the president and say little. He even took his coat for a bit. But Senator Baucus's importance was repeatedly emphasized.
Again, I want to especially thank Max. I think Max will testify. Under the proposals that Max is working on, more than 100,000 middle-class Montanans will get a health care tax credit.
These pressures will continue until Mr. Baucus comes back to Washington, D.C., which of course is a pressure cooker in its own right. He'll return to the claustrophobic healthcare negotiations in his office, and it will be interesting to see how the wide-open skies and wide-open politics of his home state will change the path going forward.